What up, YouTube? G4Elite here, once again, back with another late night video for you guys. And tonight's topic is going to be about Pokemon. The specific reason I want to talk to you guys about Pokemon is because a number of viewers wanted to know my opinion on the new Pokemon. You know, since the game X and Y is dropping, they wanted to know my thoughts on Pokemon. Do I watch the show? Do I keep up with it? Do I keep up with the games and shit like that? You know, so to start with this video, let me tell you my history with Pokemon. You know, my history with Pokemon goes all the way back to 1997 when I was young as fuck. You know, 1997. That was also one of my very first animes, you know, along with Dragon Ball Z and Toonami. But away from Toonami, Pokemon was there. And that was one of the first for me and my big brother. And that shit blew up. And I believe, along with Toonami, that helped make anime go mainstream in America because Pokemon was so popular. You know, with the fucking cards, the games that was coming out, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing Pokemon. They was dropping movies in the theaters too. You know, like I said, that shit was just the biggest phenomenon ever. You know, in the hood, it was niggas getting their ass whooped for Pokemon cards. You know, they would jump niggas and say, "Oh, you got a wallet, you got money, you got Pokemon cards. Well, you keep the money, you can keep the wallet." You know, it was like that type of shit. It was that serious back in the day. You know, and I was with that craze. You know, I had my Pokemon cards and I had the very first Pokemon Red version, you know, because I wasn't into the blue version. My brother had the blue version. I copped the red version, so I loved Pokemon. It was like one of the most beautiful things ever, you know. And I can say I'm one of the few people that had the rarest cards in the game. I had Charizard. You know, you remember how rare that shit was back in the day. I had that motherfucker. And it got washed. I put all of my holographic cards into one deck, which was like this thick, and left it in my pocket and washed that shit. So that was one of those what the fuck moments. But I love the TV show as much too. I love the TV show and Pokemon as a whole, all the way up until I would say 2003, 2004. I would say it was a little bit after the Entei movie hit theaters, which was the third movies in the theaters, if I believe, you know. They gave us the free Entei cards, which was dope. And that was all the way to Pokemon Crystal version. That was the last Pokemon game I played, Crystal, which was the first one for Game Boy Color, if y'all remember, you know, for my 90s kids out there. But after a while, with the TV show, I started losing interest in it because I felt like the shit was repetitive. I felt like this shit got repetitive. I felt like it was Ash go collect badges, he go battle some niggas. Team Rocket try to catch his Pikachu. He said he blow them at they asses up, and it was that same cycle over and over. And I noticed that shit. And then another trend I noticed at the time was Ash was one of the most shittiest Pokemon trainers / protagonists I have ever seen. The way this nigga was just giving away all these great Pokemon, it was disgusting. He gave away a Charizard, a Butterfree, a Primate, I think that what his name was. He gave away a Haunter. He was just giving away Pokemon and keeping the weak-ass Pokemon. I was like, what is this dumbass doing? So it got to the point where I started hating Ash as a protagonist. I started rooting for Team Rocket. I was like, man, I hope Team Rocket fuck this nigga up today. You know, it started getting to that point where I started rooting for Team Rocket and Giovanni to win. So at that point, I was like, okay, I think I'm done with Pokemon right now. You know, when I can't even root for Ash anymore. And then it was just to the point where I'm like, the show is so whack in comparison to a whole bunch of new anime was coming out at the time between Yu-Gi-Oh! And Adult Swim was coming on, more adult-themed shows was coming out. So I also noticed how soft Pokemon was. You know, Pokemon didn't have nothing that made it stand out, and I hated that shit. You know, it was just this soft kitty type shit. You know, I feel like Pokemon should end. In my honest opinion, I see the new Pokemon out and shit, and I'm like, it should have ended a long time ago. They should not be on like 6th or 7th generation type shit. I feel like it should end by now. I honestly feel like that. I feel like this shit that went on too long. You know, Ash makes no progression as a Pokemon trainer. Even in 2013 episodes, this nigga is still making the same rookie ass mistakes. He don't make no progression. He don't get no better. You know, it's just the endless cycle for this dude, and I just don't like this shit. I feel like if Pokemon wanted to get my interest back, you know, granted the new games look good, you know, get into the game part. The games do look good. The 3D graphics, I've been waiting for that to hit a handheld, you know, that Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Coliseum type graphics. I've been waiting for that to hit handheld. So the games do look good. But I feel like if they want to capture my interest again in terms of the TV show, I feel like they would have to get darker. I feel like Pokemon have potential to be way darker than it is. I want to see a new protagonist with a more grittier feel. I want to see a fucking Growlithe rip the head off somebody. I want to see Pokemon die. I want to see Pokemon battle to the death. I want to see like a police task force of Pokemon. You follow a protagonist of somebody trying to track down Team Magma and all them other teams that steal Pokemon and shit. I want to see a grittier feel for this shit. I don't want no more 10-year-old Ash Ketchum and I'm gonna catch them all. You know, I don't want that bullshit no more. I want some gritty shit. You know, I want people to die. I want Pokemon to die. Call me crazy if you want to, but I just feel like if they did that, Pokemon would be way better than it is. You know, I feel like they kind of did that a little bit, touched on that a little bit with Pokemon Chronicles, but not enough. I want like, I don't know how to describe it, just a more evil insight into what Pokemon can do, you know. I want to see Mewtwo rip niggas into pieces and shit. How epic would that shit be? I want to see Charizard maim somebody, like blow somebody's arm off or something. That's just me, you know. I feel like if you want to have like some damn near animals fighting each other, there should be somebody dying. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, to summarize this video, the new games look dope. I'm not into Pokemon no more though. Will I be picking up the new games? We'll see. You know, the graphics impressing me and shit, but I don't know if I could get back into it. Like I said, unless it get more gritty, you know. Until they do that, I don't know. You know, I'm still on the fence about it. I'm not gonna watch the anime no more. But anyways, that's just how I feel. You can hit me down in the comments below. Tell me how you feel about tonight's topic. Are you still into Pokemon? Have you gave up on it? Are you still watching that shit, hoping something new happens? So drop a comment down below. Subscribe to my channel for more discussions. And go like my Facebook fan page if you haven't. G4 Leader here signing off. Thank you for watching.